We've even got Tony Rizzo weighing in on the QB tracker situation, along with Garrett Bush. And then there's Jerry Jeudy. Oh, we absolutely have to get into that one. And I'll be giving you my take on it specifically from a receiver's perspective. Let's get into it. So, as mentioned before, the media was out in full force reacting to Day 2 of OTAs. Now, Day 3 is closed to the media, so we won't have much visibility into the QB reps situation for that session, but we'll make sure to keep you updated the moment that information comes out. Right now, the conversation everyone is locked in on is Shedeur Sanders versus Deshaun Watson. Several videos went out yesterday covering the quarterback reps, and the first take was that Watson was getting so many first-team reps that it almost looked like Shedeur wasn't getting any at all. That's how lopsided it appeared at first glance. But then a second video followed after Ty Monk came in and confirmed that Shedeur Sanders did in fact receive first-team reps as well. So the picture became a little clearer once that information was verified. And now Tony Rizzo has weighed in on Watson receiving such a heavy workload in those sessions. Let's see what he had to say.
Who was watching practice said from what he saw, Deshaun took the majority of the first team reps.
It felt to me like Deshaun took significantly more reps with the ones. If I came away from watching that, I would say that that's the direction that it is going, which is not what we thought all along, so not a surprise there.
Sure.
But that Deshaun will be the starter.
Is it his job to lose, Aaron Goldhammer?
Probably right now, that's what it looks like. I mean, but Rich, can he stay healthy? What's going to happen when people start chasing him? Is he going to be rusty? Where is his head at? You know, I mean, there are a million questions about Deshaun Watson. And just because he starts the season as the quarterback doesn't mean he's going to be the quarterback for the second half of that game.
Watson did get the majority of the most snaps yesterday with the ones. Is that correct?
Yes. And I think what's important at this stage of this so-called, well, it is a competition, is the number of reps, regardless of who's on the field with you. Because, Riz, at this point, they're putting different guys in on every play. Basically, when the number one offensive line is in front of the quarterback, that's the first team. But he's putting in third-string tight ends, third-string receivers. So my point is, the guy who's getting the most snaps is the guy who's being most prepared, perhaps, to be the starter.
This should be a true competition, Hannah. That's what this should be. They should not have any predisposition, or rather, like any intention on having this be anything other than just a pure organic competition. I think this is a kind of really interesting type of situation. I really think it is, but I think Shedeur should come out as number one.
And that's a take worth paying attention to. Agreeing with Louis Riddick here, this is a legitimate quarterback battle, not just a formality. The reps are being distributed in a way that suggests the Cleveland Browns are genuinely keeping this competition open. And the belief here is that Shedeur Sanders ultimately comes out on top when all is said and done. That's the prediction, and we're standing on it. Moving forward, we've got Garrett Bush, Tony Rizzo, and additional perspective all weighing in on the QB tracker situation, so we're going to break all of that down. But first, Jerry Jeudy. Because Jeudy played a significant role in that Shedeur Sanders interception, and we absolutely have to address that. We'll get into exactly what happened and what it means from a receiver standpoint coming up in just a moment.
And the quarterback tracker. Deshaun was 13 of 21. A lot of incomplete passes. Sanders 7 of 11, but he had a pick off somebody's hands. Gabriel 1 of 4 with a pick. We needed to chart that. That needed to be charted. 1 of 4 with a pick.
Over the tracker numbers, this is for practice. This is courtesy ESPN Cleveland Browns OTA day number 2 in the books. Here's every quarterback performing 11 on 11 versus 7 on 7 team drills. Watson and Sanders were the only quarterbacks to take first team reps. As you can see, 7-11, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. We'll actually show you that clip coming up here as well. And Watson 13 of 24, 1 touchdown, had a nice throw in the back of the end zone. We'll start with that actually, to be truthful. Let's get to this and we'll take a look at the Deshaun Watson throw to Denzel Boston. A nice, pretty throw in the back of the end zone. was a dot. I mean, if you missed it, matter of fact, run that back. Tyvus, that's a throw. Now, I got to show you now. Now, Shedeur has some nice throws in there as well.
Like Stacy Tyvus, fight. Minister Society, he was like, fight. You gotta fight.
I want to get your opinion on this situation because Jerry Jeudy, come on back to the football, Jerry. Jerry, come on back to the football. It was an interception thrown in this, but it was a nice play as well thrown by Shedeur Sanders. This clip is about 1:20. You guys get your notes out. Let me know what you think. This was Shedeur Sanders in 11-on-11 to 7-on-7.
The dunk on a shot. All that clutch. You won't get definitely that one shot, and they got shot in that. What is that? Oh, was it young dad?
No, the young goal.
Shot.
And got down.
The cop the shot.
You manifested whatever the universe is. Oh no. God.
Play with Jerry Jeudy. From your perspective, what did you see in those two plays?
I seen a quarterback that took his drop. You know, I love the fact that he keep his eyes down the middle of the field because you don't want to give it away. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to hold those safeties so they don't know exactly where you're going with the ball. Then obviously, boom, boom, go through the progression, get the ball out. Did a really good job threading the needle between a linebacker and a safety coming down on the ball for the tight end. Boom, that was a great play. That's exactly what you want. That to me is like the definition of arm talent, being able to make those type of throws right there. So I love what I seen there. The second play, that one was, I don't know, he did a great job of holding the safety or getting the look down the middle, went through his progressions. He went 1, 2, 3, back to 2. Ball came out. Jeudy definitely should have kept coming back to the ball a little bit. I definitely didn't like the fact that he stopped and waited on it and allowed that guy to get under it. But that led to tips and overthrows, and the DBs made a good play.
Earl, what are your thoughts real quick?
So I wrote down 4 points here. The first one, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to know Shedeur Sanders had the correct wristband. Okay? He had the correct wristband. Let's put that out there first, right? But the command in a huddle before he even snapped the ball and threw it, I point that out because last year that was a point of emphasis that people kept making, saying that was one of his issues, really having command in the huddle, relaying the play from his headphones to his teammates, getting out there and then going to execute it. Like Tyvus, I thought he did a great job holding the safeties, going through his progressions. The first throw, very timely pass right there on the rope. The second throw, I thought he did the same thing, understood what he was out there looking at. Jerry Jeudy has to come back to the football. I give Jerry Jeudy a little bit of grace right now because this is day 2 of phase 2 of OTAs, and hopefully Todd Monken got on his ass so he knows that, listen, when those bullets is out there flying live for real, you got to do everything in your power to go secure that ball and help your quarterback out on every single play.
And that right there cuts straight to the heart of it. Either you have that dog mentality or you don't. There's no teaching it, no coaching it into someone. Any player who has ever competed at a serious level in this game knows exactly what that means. It's something you're born with, that instinct to go get the football no matter what, regardless of coverage, regardless of who's around you. Double team, triple team, it doesn't matter. If the ball is in the air, you go get it. And from a receiver's perspective, Jerry Jeudy simply doesn't play with that mentality. That's not a shot without evidence. That's what the tape shows. And that's exactly why seeing Denzel Mims out there competing and fighting for his spot is encouraging. You want those young, hungry receivers around Shedeur Sanders who are going to attack the football rather than wait for it to come to them. and it was a message aimed straight at Jimmy Haslam, Todd Monken, and Andrew Berry. The point was simple and direct. Your number one wide receiver does not know how to run through the football. Jeudy literally stopped his route and came back to the ball flat-footed. He decelerated at the exact moment a receiver should be accelerating and attacking. And when that happens, it doesn't just result in an incomplete pass, it makes the quarterback look bad. It puts the blame on Shedeur when the breakdown started at the route level. That's the part that matters most heading into this QB competition. Shedeur Sanders needs receivers around him who are going to make him look good, not receivers whose lack of effort create turnovers that end up on the quarterback stat sheet.
Said it was embarrassing that the quarterbacks threw 2 interceptions during the 7-on-7. That's a period where the ball shouldn't even touch the ground. The interceptions were turned in by newly signed cornerback Michael Coates and Miles Bryant, one of the new veterans the Browns brought in. And they were thrown by Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel.
And the tape from the Spring League back in 2019 backs up exactly what's being said here. Playing against other professionals who were all fighting for their own NFL opportunities, including Johnny Manziel, the contrast in approach is clear. Running to the football, attacking it, not standing flat-footed waiting for it to arrive. And that's the entire point. As a former receiver, the frustration of watching Jerry Jeudy play the way he plays is real. There are receivers all over the country who would give anything to be in his position, an NFL roster spot, a legitimate opportunity, a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders who can actually get him the ball. And Jeudy's out there catching the ball in his chest, decelerating into his routes, and giving defenders a chance to make plays on balls that should never be contested. Any receivers coach or head coach worth their salary has to address that directly. Run through the football. No defender should ever get a hand on that ball because you should already be there attacking it before they have a chance. That football is your livelihood. That's your opportunity. You play with that sense of urgency every single rep. And here's the harder truth. Maybe this isn't sabotage. Maybe Jeudy just isn't as good as his draft position suggested. Maybe he's simply a jag, just a guy. Because let's not forget, Steve Smith Sr. was telling people about Jerry Jeudy's limitations years ago, long before Shedeur Sanders ever stepped foot in the NFL. So this isn't a new observation. The warning signs were always there. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a Shedeur Sanders update. Share the video so we can get it in front of more Browns fans, NFL fans, and Shedeur supporters everywhere.